Hi, Ida here. I thought I'd just talk a bit quickly about how I use rocks and crystals. Rocks and crystals is something that a lot of witches and pagan use in a lot of different ways, usually in sort of a magical way. And I have here actually, let's see if you can see. This is most of the rocks and crystals that I have. So not a huge collection, but I feel that I have what I need for now at least. There are some things that I picked myself in nature and others that I've purchased. And there are a lot of different ways to use crystals and rocks. You can put them in your spells, like if you're doing like spell bags, sort of mojo and gree style bags, you can put crystals in there, of course. Or if you're doing like jars with things, you can also put crystals in. And I do that, but I also sort of use crystals in a kind of a more quick and dirty kind of way. I rarely do these rather elaborate spells. I just improvise and do whatever I feel is adequate for the situation. So what I usually do is, when I feel that I need something, I just go and select whatever crystals or stones I feel might be useful for the situation, and I just take them and either one or several, and I just sit and hold them and meditate. Or I sometimes put them on top of the chakras, the corresponding chakras. Sometimes I just put them like by my head. if I'm lying on the bed, I just put a pile of them by my head, the ones that I feel called to and that I feel will be helpful to me. I'm not sure if you can see. I just sort of let them do their job. Sometimes I even just put them on the altar and they just get to sit there and do their job. This one I've been using a lot lately. I don't even remember what it's called. It's one of the first ones I bought. I love the color. It's really beautiful. And I bought it because it was supposed to be good for sleep. And that's what I'm using it for now. I've started getting into dream work lately. And I always had troubles remember my dreams. I never do. So what I did was I put this, I've had it for ages as I said, but I just put this under my pillow now, and I did some other things, and it's actually worked. I've had 4 nights now in a row that I actually remembered my dreams, and that's never happened before. Like, I'm lucky if I remember one dream a month. So that's cool. One thing too actually that I thought that I'd say is that there are different theories about how the stones work and why they work the way they do. You can sort of feel like it's your power, you're sort of charging them, and then you can draw on that. You could also feel that they have an innate power in themselves, and you could of course have a theory as to why, like it has to do with you know, the crystal, the shapes of the crystals or whatever. And you can also have an animist view, of course, on them, and see them as spirits. Each of them has its own spirits, and you can work with that spirit. And I don't really feel that one of these ways of viewing it is more correct than the other, because I just sort of use the stones in all these 3 ways. But I wanted to tell you a story that I think can be rather interesting for you. And it's I was going to do a spell for protection for my dogs, to keep them safe when we were outside. So I had bought it was basically going to be like a small spell bag where I put protective stuff in, and I was going to put it on their harness that they wear when they're outdoors. Sorry. And among other things, I had bought Lapis Lazuli, a very brightly blue. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I showed you this before. This is Lapis. It's protective, among other things. This is a very sort of magical stone. So I bought that, 2 of them, 1 for each dog. This is years and years ago. I only have 1 dog now. And I was going to do the spell later in the day, and I had just put the stones on the side table, and I was sitting in my armchair. I was going to just meditate. And as I was sitting there, I see, like, for my inner view, I see these little small sort of creatures or spirits or whatever you want to call it, that I've never seen before. They were like oddly shaped and sort of grey. And sorry, I don't very often see spirits like that when I just sit and meditate. So I get a bit curious and like, hello, who are you guys? And they're like, we're the stones. We're here to discuss the terms. And I was like, what terms? And they're like, yeah, we need to know. We need to get a proper description of what it is we're supposed to do. And we also want to know what we're getting paid to do it. And I said, okay. So I just sort of like explained, you know, I was thinking that you would be in this spell that I was doing for the dogs. You know, pretty basic things. You won't be doing everything on your own. You will be in there with you know, some other things, some herbs and salt or whatever. And they're like, but what will you pay us? We want payment. If we're going to work for you, we want payment. And I was like, well, I'm going to put some oils in there too. Like, I had no idea. It never happened to me before. So that's what I said. And they're like, oh, okay, fair enough. So, and that was really like, okay, so we have a deal. You're going to do this for me, and you'll be getting the oil. And yeah, it was a really funny experience. But it seemed to work. So I just thought I wanted to tell you this because apparently most people, they just think of stones as stones that you can just use in your work, you know, whichever way. But apparently some stones actually want payment, and some stones need, you know, like very clear descriptions what you want. So I just thought, like, if you have that problem, if you're trying to use stones and crystals in your magic and it doesn't really work, like, try to connect with them on a spiritual level. Try to see them as actual living beings and actual spirits, and see if you can like have a conversation with them and see if there's something special they want you to do in order to work for you, or if they have any like questions or whatever. And it only happened to me once, and I mean, I feel myself that it was rather far out, but you know, it did happen. And so if it happens to me once, it could be happening to other people too. And if your magic isn't working, then I mean, it's worth trying. So I just thought that could be a nice little piece of advice for you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this please subscribe if you did. Let me know if there's anything you want me to make a video about, or if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you for watching.